Cheers.
Grin at me, will you? You're toast!
Want to learn how to do this?
Then I will be your master.
Over here.
But first a little disclaimer, I did not come up with this build. I am not the owner, I just wanted to explain in full what, how and where to get all of this, and also give some alternatives. This is not the only way to kill Telethia, and also not the only way to one-shot it. The main advantage this method has is that it is very consistent and it doesn't rely heavily on Bongelium, but it relies a little more on Marine Rutile, although there are ways to farm these two resources. For comparison, an augment that uses Bongelium will usually need either 8 or 16. An augment that uses Marine Rutile usually needs 4. Some augments we will craft with this method use Bongelium, but only 1. First, we need to make some preparations. My main farming tool is going to be the Ares 90, and it will actually be because of Agni Gatling instead of a Gasora cannon, not because it is more efficient. Destroying an appendage gives you back 300 fuel. Agni costs 200, while a Gasora costs 6 times that. By breaking an appendage, you get your cost back, which in turn means that you won't need to go back to the barracks to refill your Skell. Agni with 3 augments for custom weapon attack and the rest loaded with whatever you're killing is enough to kill everything we need to farm. Plus, we're also going to need a lot of Miranium. I estimate at least 240,000 and at most 480,000, without taking into account the cost to craft augments. Sure, you can get more Miranium with support missions, but by the end of this you're going to be so sick of farming. Also for farming, make sure you have a max combined of 100% treasure sensor. This effectively guarantees a golden drop. This is easily achieved by giving your 3 other characters the Candid and Credible armor. Yes, Nil, it is completely necessary for you to use these clothes to understand humanity. Speaking of which, this farm is going to take days, maybe weeks. This game has a very unfriendly RNG, so I feel it's almost imperative to have something to watch while doing this. You will realize the theme of this game is that you're going to need to farm some things, to be able to farm some other things, which in turn will help you farm some other things. With how much farming there is in this game, you would think this is actually farming simulator. To get materials, we will mostly use tickets. There's 3 ways to get them: the scouting method, squad tasks, and online missions. I recommend using all 3 in some way. For example, if you see a task that asks you to kill something easy, like 10 Murras, you might as well go to the spring in Silvalum and kill them. Easy few tickets for the entire squad, and you might motivate someone to keep doing them. This will give you a passive supply of tickets while you do something else. Online missions always give you 10% more than what it shows on the results, and they also have the advantage of giving you materials on top of tickets. This is good because it will help cut down the amount of tickets you need.
Holy crap.
Finally,
Shall we then?
with that out of the way, let's jump right into it.
Alley-oop!
As a quick overview, our shopping list includes Skell, armor, traits, weapons and super weapons, augments and miscellaneous. Our vessel is going to be the Mastema White Reaper. This is the strongest customizable skill in the game. As a side note, the Ares 90 can still be used to one-shot Telethia, but uses a different setup that relies a lot on Bongelium. Plus, I've heard it's unreliable. But our armor's not looking so hot. We're also going to need to make the Amdusia's Hades, and then just strip it naked. Oh, don't cry.
My boy.
Let me give you a name.
I would like to fly!
This is because it has attribute damage physical. We're also going to need ground gear, but more on that later. Remember to upgrade your traits and get the correct ones, and also be consistent. From now on, when farming traits, that would mean only having position damage front or side. I personally prefer front because it's more straightforward, but side could work too. Back would be annoying, and for above, sometimes Telethia flies above the skybox, making it impossible to be above. Something to note is that you get more damage from traits like position damage front or attribute damage physical than to boost range attack, so prioritize those. In regards to enemy drops, in my experience, this will always have either 2 traits from the golden table and 1 from the silver, or 1 trait from the golden table and 2 from the silver. Our first super weapon is going to be Zenith Cannon. but it can't do it alone. We're also going to need Deus Crusher. This will be our main actors on the stage, but we still need some backup dancers. Thankfully, we can kill 2 Italian men with 1 cross-shaped stone. Wait, that's not how it goes. 2 indigents with a bigger gun? Anyways, Shisha the 100-eyed has 2 of the drops we need. For the armed weapon slot, we are going to need 2 miniguns. A perfect one would be either 2 attribute damage physical and 1 position damage front, or 2 position damage front and 1 attribute damage physical. I'm pretty sure my luck is absolute bullshit, because it took me almost 4 weeks to get a perfect minigun, and somehow I got a second perfect like 5 minutes later without expecting it. Keep in mind, this wasn't of constant playing, I still have responsibilities and real life things to do, so the time is a bit overinflated. If a perfect is too exhausting, then having either of those 2 plus a boost range attack should be enough. For the sidearm slot, we can use a ranged weapon. Note, none of these can have position damage front. The options are machine gun, E-sniper, shotgun or blade gun, assault or sniper. A perfect one here would be attribute damage physical and both traits for range attack. Optionally, you could use a melee weapon. Note, they can have position damage front, but not all of them. The options are rod, pile bunker, and sword. A perfect one here would be attribute damage physical and position damage front. The third trait doesn't matter for your sanity and mine. For the spare weapon slot, we are going to need any 2 spare weapons with both position damage front or the equivalent. The third trait doesn't matter for your sanity and mine. Buchwald the Guardian, Buchwald, Buchwald, Buchforest, whatever, can also drop the ground gear we need. Left and right arms with range attack drive and range accuracy drive. The headpiece is optional, and the chest and leg armor are not recommended. Use the ones from the shop. My personal recommendation is to farm Shisa or Barnabas until you get 2 good enough miniguns, or better if you want. Hopefully, while doing this you will have also gotten a good enough machine gun or 2. Then, go farm Buchwald until you get 2 desirable spare weapons. While doing this, you will easily get both arms you need and more while farming for this. Finally, if you still don't have your desired sidearms, you can choose if you want to use a melee option or not. In that case, go farm Elvira. And for your ranged sidearm, get yourself a build that can easily destroy appendages with shrapnel, for example, and go farm the infantry support Kumuga at the northwest corner of the world. While doing this, destroy every appendage on the enemy, specifically the weapons on the sides. Every weapon appendage destroyed gives you Skell weapons, plus it can drop 2 possible sidearms we need. This will dramatically increase your chances of getting what you want. Something to note is that Definitive Edition added weapons with 4 empty slots.
Holy shit!
These are only found in Volitalis. I haven't tried using any of these because I haven't gone back there and because I'm sick of farming. There's a few weapons there that you can find that could be replaced with what we have, so if you want to give it a try, be my guest. Starting by DC was first, for ground gear, we need a max combined of 100% range attack drive at least. This can be achieved with just 2 if you get both arms from Brook Forest. If you have the space to spare, get some accuracy. Do not neglect your melee accuracy. Telethia has 411 evasion. Skell frame is going to have 3 attribute damage physical. Maybe something else works, but it's easy enough to craft. Skell armor doesn't have anything that increases damage, but do not neglect your defenses. Resist Leap is very important. For the rest, I recommend 2 spec up Resist Ether and Electric. All of Telethia's attacks are Ether, plus its strongest attack is Electric. For Skell weapons, we will need 3 custom weapon attack on Zenith Cannon, which only affects the one it is equipped to. And for the rest of our weapons, we will need 21 Ultra Fauna Slayer. You will need more than just a few trips to complete these augments.
Sorry about that.
Deva Kaladar's Red Ear pretty much has to be gotten with tickets, only dropped by the time attack the Rothian Samurai. You have to kill Basara, which goes through an invincibility period at some point, dragging this on and isn't even guaranteed to drop. Something I forgot to mention about time attack is that Treasure Sensor has no effect. I also wanted to show how annoying this mission is, but somehow I ended up one-shotting Basara. An alternative to not waste your tickets on other materials is to farm the other 2 yourself, which is not as bad as it sounds. Reverse Millipede Fin is dropped by Hartmut. For this, outfit your Ares 90 with Insectoid Slayer and Beam Resist for its attacks, and target its back fin with Agni. This probably won't kill it with 1, but that's fine, because another back fin appendage will appear, letting you 2 and possibly 3 fins. Then, go back to the cliff, and near the lake there's a few forfex. These ones drop the white forfex shells we need. If you want a faster way to get these shells, the online mission Crab Feast has a super high chance of dropping 6 plus some tickets. Something to note is that I also did kind of like a sideways farming, in which I also tried to get multiple different materials at once to craft some other augments I will use in the future, like for example Potential Up.
My Dandori is immaculate.
Lastly, for some miscellaneous things, the Synchrony skill. To my knowledge, there aren't any other skills that influence your skill, and battle probes. Might as well use them all, but I don't recommend using the melee attack probe if you have a perfect setup like I do, because it will deal too much damage. I don't think your choice of party members make a difference, but I like having Elma for Ghost Factory, El for Mindstorm and Shield Wall, and Celica for Repair and Absorber Skin just in case. If you're looking for the holo figure, make sure that you don't have Treasure Sensor anywhere. Holo figures only drop from silver chests. Telethia is also one of the sources of the highest level ground weapons, but not the only source. And for one final checklist, Skell, Armor, Ground Gear, the correct traits and upgrades, weapons and super weapons, augments, Synchrony skill, and the battle proofs. And now for the fight. Pro tip, as soon as you teleport in, enter your Skell and fly this away to intercept it. Start the fight with a Deus Crusher, hopefully from your favorite position.
This is gonna hurt!
Telethia will stop a bit further away, so fly and get into position again. Telethia will always start the fight by putting up a Reflector, and then it is almost guaranteed that it will put you to sleep. Use Zenith Cannon for
Boom! Headshot!
And I hear you say, but why does friend need to one-shot it? First of all, nice Rico impression. Work on it. Because at 60% HP, it will fly down to the ground and will be invulnerable while doing this. At ground level, it will put up 2 spikes, 1 proximity and 1 counter. At 20% HP, it will fly back up, also invulnerable while doing this, and put up a Soul Redora, which will give it perfect evasion for 150 attacks. At some point during this, it will also heal itself. If you leave it with at least less than 20% HP, all of these things will happen in succession, and could take quite a while until you're finally able to kill it. So to avoid this, we kill it in one hit. Like I said, this is not the only way to one-shot it, but at least it's consistent. I killed Telethia 100 times in a row with this exact build you're seeing, and it worked every time. If you still can't kill Telethia after all of this, There is one last saving grace. You can use overdrive.
Good grief.
Yeah, I am never doing this grind again. Hey, thanks for watching. I just wanted to say that this reminds me a lot of how in China, they built a 10th-floor building in 28 hours. This requires a lot of planning before the actual process of building. I wanted to say this because this is pretty much going to be my job whenever I finish my studies. So it's kind of funny bringing the concept of my future job into a game, so I can finish an arduous process swiftly.
Spectacular!